research related to library and information science, both nationally and internationally. The PDSI study program has collaborated with various information institutions, the worlds of business and industry, as well as various allied study programs at other national and international universities. An effort to improve the quality of the tridharma of higher education, to always contribute and play an active role while implementing Merdeka Belajar Campus Merdeka output-based education curricula and become a solution for the problems of research activities and community service. Various achievements have been gained as a manifestation of the vision and mission of the Yarsi University PDSI study program to become an excellent study program in the national and international levels. Graduates from the PDSI study program at Yarsi University have spread and taken part professionally in various institutions, government agencies, private companies, schools, and state-owned enterprises, BUNN, such as expert librarian who specializes in systems librarian, digital librarian, open data and research services librarian, information institution management professional who specializes as a dynamic archives manager, records professional, document controller, scientific data analyst, and publishing manager.
Program studi perpustakaan dan sains informasi Universitas Yarsi telah terakreditasi A dan PT. Terbukti menghasilkan lulusan yang kompeten, berkarakteristik Islami, mahir teknologi informasi di bidang perpustakaan modern dan profesional informasi. Mahasiswa akan belajar pengembangan perpustakaan digital, record, analisis data, dan strategi komunikasi yang akan mempersiapkan para lulusan di masa depan yang penuh inovasi.
It is hoped that the birth of this generation of information experts who are communicative and have broad insight will not only be able to bring back the library into a house of wisdom in sharing information, ideas, and culture, but also being at the forefront in realizing equality of information and creating access to knowledge for a civilized Indonesian civilization full of innovation.
Ladies and gentlemen, our opening ceremony is about to begin. Please stay in the Zoom and make sure to turn your camera on. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'inu ala umurid dunya waddin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'du. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, on the 6th of March 2024, marks the second day for Library and Information Science Study Program of Yarsi University's International Short Course 2024, which entitled Digital Transformation, Interplay of Technology, Culture, and the Role of Librarianship in the Global Era. This event has been organized to help students navigate themselves through digital transformation, the interplay of technology, culture, and the role of librarianship in the global era.
First of all, let us express our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for the blessing which allow us to participate at the event in great condition. We also convey our sincere prayer and greeting to the Prophet Mohammed sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whose intercession we await in Yaumul Qiyamah later. Amin ya Rabbal Alamin.
Excellency, the founder of Yarsi Foundation, Professor Dr. Janalis Uddin, PAK. Excellency, the Rector of Yarsi University, Professor Dr. Fasli Jalal, PhD. Excellency, the Dean of Faculty of Information Technology, Yarsi University, Dr. Ummi Azizah, M.Kom, M.Kom. Excellency, the Head of Library and Information Science Study Program, Indah Kurnia Ningsih, SIP, MP, and all the distinguished for all the past participants of this short course. Before we started, let us introduce ourselves. My name Baik Sabrina Zahra, and here is my partner.
I'm Kaizana Mira. Ladies and gentlemen, in this morning we have two sessions. The first session will be held before break, and the second session will be held after break. The several agenda as follows. First, the opening of Yarsi University Summer School 2024. Second, reading of Moderator Curriculum Vitae. Third, the presentation of the first topic regarding media literacy in Indonesian cultural context, navigating information in global era, which will be presented by our guest speaker, Mrs. Elfitri Kurnia Erza, M.Kom. Fourth, the discussion and documentation session. Then we will have a second session after break. Start with the presentation of the second topic regarding digital transformation, big data, and other emerging technology for libraries, which will be presented by Associate Professor Dr. Asmadi Mohammed Ghazali. 10. The discussion and documentation session.
Now, allow us to read the curriculum vitae of our moderator today, Mr. Heri Samtani, SPD M.Kom. He has a master's degree in literature. His teaching focus is on reading culture, and he has few researches about library representation, eco-criticism, reading culture, and gender study. He also a member of proofreader at Bibliothek Journal. Now, let's listen to the reading of our speaker CV today by our moderator, Mr. Heri Samtani. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you for the host. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and hello everyone. I'm very happy to see you again. Hopefully you don't feel bored because I will accompany you in every single day as long as in Yarsi International Short Course 2024. Permit me to reintroduce myself. I'm Heri Samtani. I'm the representative lecturer from the Faculty of Information and Technology, Universitas Yarsi. I'm your moderator today, exactly in this morning session. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to our third session in day 2 of International Short Course with the title Digital Transformation, Interplay of Technology, Culture, and the Role of Librarianship in the Global Era. It is now my pleasure to introduce our third speaker. She is young lecturer in Library Information Science program, Universitas Yarsi, focus teaching in several courses, health information, communication, media and information literacy, etc. Her research focused to some topics including information literacy, scholarly communication, and social media. Who is our speaker for today? She is the one and only Mrs. Elfitri Kurnia Erza. Today, Mrs. Elfitri will talk about media literacy in Indonesian cultural context, navigating information in the global era. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mrs. Elfitri. Okay, hello Bu Elfitri.
Halo, good morning, Pak Heri Samtani.
Good morning. Seems like I know you so well. Okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay. How was your day?
Good and happy to see you all today.
Alhamdulillah. Are you ready for your session?
Inshallah.
Okay, here we go. Give applause once again to Bu Elfitri.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. My name is Elfitri, and thank you for our moderator today, Pak Heri Samtani. The one is my colleague. and I'm lecturer in Library and Information Science in Information Technology Faculty in Universitas Yarsi. My subject is media information literacy, communication, health information, and local knowledge, indigenous knowledge, and knowledge presentation. And today, I would like to share and discuss about the media literacy in Indonesia in cultural context, and then we will correlation with knowledge preservation and dissemination using library and new media in Indonesia. Okay, next. Our topic today, we will talk about the concept of media literacy as general, as theory, and then we will talk about new media in Indonesia, and then we see that how the characteristic of Indonesian people, and then we will discuss about the local knowledge in Indonesia, and then we see how the knowledge preservation and dissemination in library in Indonesia. Okay, next. As we know, media literacy generally talk about the individual ability. What is individual ability? There is many individual ability like to use media, and in Indonesia we have many media that provide you to accessing information. An individual ability to access media determine which media that we choose to consume. And then this information can be used to meet information need in many aspects like learning, health. In Indonesia, we had election, it means politics, and then many information that we need every day. Next. Okay. In generally, we have a concept the media literacy. The first is consumer of the media is vulnerable and passive. That we see people as capable of powerful to access that information. In mass media, we know that media theory about hypodemic theory, that the view that this theory about the media has the ability to influence and control the users. But in the other hands, we have the another theory. We know that the uses and gratification theory, that audience are responsible for selecting the media and would base their needs, and the media outlet are used by audience and specific gratification. And it means the user, us, have control to choose the media. And then media literacy will empowering people in media system like critical thinking and skills. And what skills that we need to access the media? Okay. As we know that media literacy based on recognition that we know that media literate citizenship, that any public responsibility in media literacy involving by government, public institution, and technology, and we have social media. And media literacy, we talk about the how we protecting ourselves to from harmful media content like message, image, and then videos, and then articles. In Indonesia, we have many hoax or misinformation of disinformation that we can see in the WhatsApp and social media, especially when we have election days before in February or January 2002. 2024. Okay, next. Now, how the concept of the media effect? What is media effect? Because media is we know that media can influence people, but the influence, as well as we know that who is most impacted and when, how, and why. This is have been the subject of the communication, mass communication, and media effect refers to the many ways individual and society might be influenced by news and entertainment by mass media, like film, television, newspaper, websites, even video games, music. In Indonesia, we have Korean drama, and then Thai drama, Thai series, and then Chinese drama, and many series that can influence how a younger generation think. Yeah. And media literacy is indeed about individual ability, we ability to access and analyze, evaluate, and create media in many forms. And we know that different media of different type of media and different purpose, and then different technique we use to accessing the media. We know that the ability to actively navigate media landscape is crucial. Many information available in many various media channel, and then individuals need to develop the critical thinking skills to scan credible source, identify bias, identify misinformation, identify disinformation. We know that hoax information. And then we have to evaluate the accuracy and then reliability of the information. And what is the media effect? We have to know that all media messages are constructed by the media. The media is organization. In Indonesia, we have many media and then many media have many owners, many supporters, and then this media will create message that constructed. And second, media message are constructed using creative language. We not only talk about the media, mass media like television or radio, but we can see that more media in Indonesia have many creative language. We know that spam. We know what we call it in um, phishing, and then we know about the spam using the hurtful content. It's this unique language that or creative language by constructed by media. And then we have to know that different people, our different people experience and education with the same media message differently. It's mean between me and Pak Heri Samtani, maybe when we consume one information, we have many point of views because we have different experience, different education, formal education or informal education, and we have different background, different culture. So we have different interpreted of information. And we know that media are primarily business driven by a profit motive, that we have to realize that many media, especially in Indonesia, we have they have owners, they have supporters, and like political or belonging. So it's business driven and it must be a profit motive or different motive. And then the last one is media have embedded values and point of view. It depends on who the owners, who the supporters, and what they see about the situation. So media literacy about the individual ability, our ability to access, analyze, evaluate, and create media in various forms. That this include about the different type of media and then different purpose, different technique, and when we access this media. Okay, next. We back to the theory. UNESCO 2016 had Paris agenda about the following recommendation media literacy. The first recommendation is media literacy should develop a comprehensive media education program to all education level, not to elementary school, junior school, high school, even the higher education. And then we can see that media education program in education level can implement to adopt inclusive definition of media education and then to link between media education, cultural diversity, and respect for human rights. And then to define basic skill and evaluation system in educational levels. Next. And second recommendation in media literacy that teacher training and awareness raising of other stakeholders in the social spheres. And in Indonesia, we have many teacher training to using learning management system, electronic resources, access to online database. That is, the goal is to make teacher to have awareness about the media literacy. In Indonesia, we have to, we know that gerakan literasi sekolah or school literacy program that is integrated to curriculum Merdeka Belajar, and the student have to make the project like entrepreneurship, skills, soft skills, and then how to marketing, and this is the output of the gerakan literasi sekolah or school literacy program in kurikulum Merdeka Belajar. And this program, school literacy program, we hope to be a media to make students have lifelong learning from the elementary school until high school, and then when they are to be a student in higher education, they have literacy information literacy skills to create the new knowledge in higher education. Okay, next, the third recommendation in media literacy is research and its dissemination network. This is program to higher education. In Indonesia, we have final tasks like thesis, and then we have project that is the media literacy in research and networking. And then the last one recommendation is international cooperation. in action, and this program still developed by Indonesian Ministry of Education and Cultural, like organize and make international exchange, and then to raise awareness and mobilize political decision maker. This program still developed by Indonesian Ministry of Education. Okay, next. Okay, we can see this is the pattern of the how media literacy in our lives. First, we can see that we start with access. What is access? Access is which one media that will we choose in the theory uses and gratification. We are as user have to choose what media will be preferred, and then we are a user have to make responsible and access information by locating and sharing materials and comprehending information and ideas. And then second, we can see that we need to analyze message and evaluating to the quality of the message. What is the quality? What is the quality, the information? It is because identifying the author, point of views, evaluating the quality and credibility content, and then who that create that content. And then third, from Indonesia, from the information that we get, we need to create content. What is content that we create from the information we get from the many media? And we will making content like language, images, sound, new digital tools, technology, or photo or videos, or many words. It's or maybe we use the information we get to make papers or information, new information, or maybe we can choose many information in the media to make paper to our task and many reason. And then the fourth, after we analyze and evaluating information, we need to reflect on one's conduct and communication behavior. It's mean we as a users have to responsibility and ethical principle as citizenship. And then the last one, we have to take action by working individual or collaboratively. In Indonesia, media collaborative is popular now to share knowledge and solve problems. In social media, we can see collaboration between practitioner and academic, and then we can see collaboratively in the media interactive. We should present the new knowledge. The purpose of collaborative is we create a new knowledge, we create a new information that we interpreted from the media. Okay, next. Okay, how the new media in Indonesia in generally? We know that media in Indonesia have many platforms: television, radio, print, online, social media, and Indonesia has a diverse media landscape with different perspective and interests. Media literacy for the young generation is vital in the today in digital era, and information have to accessible, constantly bombarding them through various media or channel. And then what is the aspect of media literacy for the young generation. In the theory, we know that understanding media message and then evaluating source, and we know that digital citizenship, and then critical thinking, and media production skills, cultural awareness, and then as we know, digital literacy, that is the key of the aspect media literacy to young generation as generally. And next, okay, what is the new media? You know that media means the tool used by communicators to send message to communicant. It's the communication theory. And new media is media that use the internet based on online technology and has a flexible character, has interactively potential, and can function privately or publicity. It's not about the privately, not only privately, but also public. And it can be interpreted that new media is new tools used by communicators to send message to communicant. Okay. And then what is the concept of new media? We know that evolution dan digital technology and platform in Indonesia is the way of information. We have two-way communication. It create, distribute, and consume. And new media have digital platform and technologies such as internet, social media, mobile device, digital video, virtual reality, and its interactive multimedia. And then we know that new media have characteristic. The first is interactive. This two-way communication about between the content creators and users, or between users and to users, not the creators. And then second, the characteristic is accessibility, that new media technology made information more accessible, allowing anyone with the internet connection to publish, share, even create this information. The third characteristic is convergence. Convergence, we know that one information using text, audio, video, graphic, and then one content have many convergence other media. It means multiple platform. This convergence multimedia enable to storytelling, immersive experience that combine elements from various media format. And the fourth characteristic is customized, that the media, social media or media in generally give you opportunity to make to create content and customize the content, and then this customization make user engagement, and then make this engagement foster and a sense of connection between users and content. Sometimes we feel that this content is mine, this content is describe me. This is the customization. And then another characteristic is speed and immediacy, that speed in the social media or new media is real-time communication and instant access to information, and then update. And we know that viral content in Indonesia, viral content is information that something is not not make sense, and then but this information can be viral. And then the last one is characteristic about global reach, that we know social media and new media have geographic, there is no have geographic boundaries, and able to content to reach another content from another country, and then sometimes it will fostering cross cultural exchange, and then make the global connectivity. And then we know the idea about act local, think global, and then we act as a local, act the local uh, in the local, but when we think, when we presentation, when we distribution, disseminate information dissemination, we have to think global. Okay, this is the new media definition. And then next, what is the benefit of new media? Okay, in general, we have two types of media. We have print media. In Indonesia, we have national newspaper like Kompas, Tempo, Republika, then many local publication, and then we have online media. Online media and social media platform become popular in Indonesia, especially to younger population in Z generation, Y generation, even the X generation, baby boomers generation. We use social media platforms, but with different types of social media. There is website, blogs, social networking, and then we have many social media like Facebook, X, Instagram, YouTube, that we can find information to entertainment and social interaction. And the spread of the misinformation or fake news on social media in Indonesia, it makes we concerned about media literacy and credibility of online information. In terms of regulation in Indonesia, we have laws and regulation about the media freedom, while the rules also ensuring responsible journalism and protecting national interests. Based on the Indonesia Press Council, we know that press ethic and mediation by media, between media and the public, is have a rule, and we have the law about the information technology, communication, and this is very very popular in Indonesia today. And then Indonesia media landscape in the country differs culture and society, and that's why we have the law to make the boundaries to people in Indonesia to speak about what they think and what they act in society. And then in Indonesia, we have mixed traditional and modern media outlets in information and entertainment needs of in population. Okay, what is benefit new media? When we talk about the how the media in Indonesia, we know that it is easier and faster, and easier and faster is make you getting what you need as fast, and then media can give you entertainment, and with new media we can effectively to sharing information communication. Okay, next. Okay. Before we discuss about implementation media literacy in knowledge preservation in library, we need to know about the characteristic of Indonesian people. As we know that Indonesia have plurality. Plurality is the diverse social background, ethnicity, race, customs, culture, and language, and then we have different religion in Indonesia. And then the social reality that the diversity is not the weakness from the Indonesian people. That sometimes maybe it's the make conflict and disintegration, but the strength is the plurality is a basic capital to Indonesian growth and development to become a strong and superior country. And pluralistic in Indonesia must be able to build social relations and then cohesion. And sometimes we have to realize that plurality in Indonesia talk about equality to many culture in Indonesia. And then the unity and integrity in Indonesia, we have motto Bhinneka Tunggal Ika. Then Bhinneka Tunggal Ika it mean different. Bhinneka Tunggal Ika it mean when we different we still one. Okay, and we know that Indonesia have more than 17,000 islands, and then more than 300 ethno-linguistic groups, and then we have source of knowledge that in the communities, and the communities have local knowledge, and then providing context and strength of the Indonesia. Okay, before we talk about the Indonesian people, we know that two context culture, high context culture and low context culture. There is many factors that different about how people in how high context culture and low context culture respond about the information or respond about the information in many media. Okay, I will tell you about the high context culture because Indonesia is the one high context culture. Okay, individual high context culture prefer send message with non-verbally. So to understand the message from high context culture, sometimes we need to be closer, like a family, friends, colleagues, or we have social connection that more than professional. And then high context culture make personal relationship most important than anything. So sometimes we see that people with high context culture make the context non-verbally is more important than that in message. So, for example, the intonation, facial expression, body language is more important than the message or than the word. Sometimes the communicant or users must be listened carefully that the non-verbal communication because the many information or many important message or many important facts are hidden in the non-verbal communication. Like When we say yes, sometimes it means no. When we say no, we have to explain with long conversation, and we talk about uh, something that not related to the message, true message. And in the other hand, we have low context culture. In Indonesia, many cultural have the few have low context culture, but not like the high context culture. And in low context culture, message clear statement with no error understanding in the meaning. And then low context communication, situation, and non-verbal behaviors is not important. That it the message, the important message can explain directly. And as I say that Indonesia have 300 ethnic, and then Indonesia is categorized as high context culture. In anthropology and communication studies, high context culture refers to cultures where communication release context and non-verbal context, that we have to know about the implicit understanding. Much of the meaning of the message, unspoken elements such as body language, tone of voice, and facial expression to share cultural and norm and values in Indonesia. Sometimes we need to see in the daily activity, not the direct message. Okay, the characteristic of high context culture, like implicit communication, non-verbal communication, relationship, personal relationship is more important, and then rules and norm in the cultural is the have to be the top list in culture. And then group identity is strong. What is the we group identity, like we are from the closely connected to any cultural, because the Indonesia we have many culture. So from where we from, it means it will be identity for the people in Indonesia. Okay. Next. Okay. What is the correlation between media literacy and the knowledge preservation? Okay. In Indonesia, we have many cultural, and it will be the effect to act in the social media. And we know that Indonesia have many local knowledge, and we know that local knowledge in culture is knowledge from local people, accumulated by generation to generation, living in the same environment and same culture. And then local knowledge is the system owned by local community. Okay, next. Okay, next again. Okay, okay, next. Nah, so local knowledge is the knowledge from local people that the transfer from generation to generation, living in the same environment. And then local knowledge is the body of knowledge, including knowledge and practice used and developed by community in Indonesia. And then local knowledge is related to human interaction with nature and environment. That this is the practice. The local knowledge will take the form of the direct communication, verbal communication, and non-verbal communication that it will form as songs, stories, cultural values, beliefs, and technology to support the local communities. Okay, next. And cultural communication in society will experience changes. The change in local community is a must. That local community have to make a change because the change is innovation to local people, especially in Indonesia. And the change can be caused by diffusion process where local community and non-local community have interaction, and then process learning from the local community to the another place or another country, and then the process of getting know the foreign culture, and then innovation in the local knowledge or local people in Indonesia. It's make the change in local community. Okay, next. Okay. What is local knowledge classification? As we know that local knowledge classification have three classification, and the first one learning system. Learning system is the method that the local community to conveying knowledge, like the psychological, innovation, experiment, games, other learning methods. And then the second classification is local organization, control and enforcement. And it's relating to the traditional institution that environmental management, leadership management, and then decision making, conflict management, law, and community control in traditional institution. And the third classification is local classification and quantification. It's relating to how society defines and classifies natural phenomena, flora, fauna, as well as traditional method in the local people. Okay, we will see the local knowledge in Indonesia. Next. Next. Okay. Next again. Okay. It is the view of local knowledge in Indonesia. We know that tanaman obat keluarga or toga, and that is the family medical plants, refers to traditional plants by using the family or community to treatment and healthcare. This plant often available around the home, and we can find in the yard of the traditional healing. And then here is some example of the medical plants like ginger, turmeric leaves, aloe vera, temulawak, or something that is similar like ginger. And then many plants that can use by the household in Indonesia to be health traditional healing practice. And then plants is a local knowledge system, including Indonesia, refers to what is the plants, how to use the plants, and then various plants. It is the transfer from generation to generation in Indonesia. But we know that the younger population in Indonesia, they don't know about how to make a difference from ginger and turmeric. I think it's tragic. And okay, next. Nah, okay. In Indonesia, we have Indonesia traditional weaving to make clothes, and Indonesian traditional weaving is the country rich cultural heritage, and this weaving very famous, like songket, like sarung, and then many clothes in Indonesia. And then what is the knowledge? The knowledge from Indonesian traditional weaving is unique technique, motif, and materials. And in Indonesia, we have many aspects about the traditional weaving, like type of weaving and then materials that they use. And then cultural aspect, like history, taboo in the traditional weaving is still cultural heritage and identity with culture in Indonesia. And then we have motif and pattern that is a symbol and have many meanings to local rituals and beliefs in local community. And then traditional weaving is have to preservation effort, because the interest to the traditional weaving technique and initiative in Indonesia have been established to support to revival and preservation, because traditional weaving in Indonesia have to promote sustainable production method and provide market access to another country and another community. And Indonesia traditional weaving is cultural heritage that creatively skill cultural diversity in Indonesian people. So we need to preserving and promoting traditional weaving technique in Indonesia. Okay, next. And Indonesia, we know that fishing knowledge, and this is the country rich maritime heritage, diverse ecosystem and cultural traditional. And this fishing technique or fishing method is the vital part of the Indonesian society, because fishing is cultural identity to most of the Indonesian people. And the fishing method or fishing culture, there is traditional fishing method, and then cultural significance like history, knowledge about the festival, knowledge about the weather, knowledge about the fish, knowledge about the wind, and so on. And then we have maritime festival, diverse fish, and then we have sustainable fishing practice, and this is the one of the government program to working together with the marine area, that the community-based fisheries management and sustainable aquaculture in Indonesia. And then what is challenge and opportunity to preserve this fishing knowledge in Indonesia is the knowledge in fishing still in the people, not some documentation about the knowledge still couldn't find, because the knowledge still in tacit knowledge. We know that tacit and explicit knowledge, and the fishing knowledge still tacit knowledge. And then we have to collaboration, we have to documentation, we have to record this knowledge from the local knowledge, and then it will be preserved to young generation in Indonesia. Okay, next. Now this one is maybe famous in the Indonesia, survival and war strategic. In Indonesia, survival and war strategic by the historical experience and geopolitical challenge in the local knowledge. We know that the Kalimantan have suku Dayak, and then we have Bugis. They have the survival and war strategic that adopted by army in Indonesia. And this one is strong and defense posture, fostering regional cooperation, and upholding principles of peace and diplomacy. And this local knowledge in Indonesia have this knowledge. Okay, next. Nah, what if knowledge preservation in media opportunity in the library and media? Next. Knowledge preservation in media refers to the practice of capturing, disseminating knowledge in the media. It's mean we need to media literacy to protecting this knowledge. Why we have to protecting this knowledge? Because this knowledge have to long-term accessibility and availability for future generation. And this process is not the easy, because we have valuable information, we have cultural heritage, and we have scientific discoveries and historical record, and they are need to protecting in the library. What is the knowledge preservation in media? Yeah. Okay. First, we can do the documentation and archiving, like media, including written documents, photographs, audio recording, videos, digital content. And then we know that the knowledge, local knowledge, it did still tacit knowledge, that this knowledge still in the person mind, and then we have to record and documentation this knowledge, and this documentation will be dissemination to generation with the media. And the type of communication, we have explicit type of knowledge is, we have explicit knowledge and tacit knowledge. Explicit knowledge is knowledge in the document, record, procedure, and then modules. And tacit knowledge is knowledge in the person mind, and it's not being captured and transferred in any formal ways. Still in the person mind, like the local knowledge in the local community. Okay, next. Now, we have general knowledge about the knowledge preservation is a process for maintaining knowledge to organization mission that stores knowledge information over time. And then knowledge transfer in the local knowledge is between individuals, group to group, community to community, organization to organization, and industry. Okay, next. Okay. According to IFLA, the library contribution to knowledge preservation. The first one is implement program to collect, preserve, and dissemination local knowledge. So the library have to collect, preserve, and dissemination local knowledge in the thematic way. And then second, provide and promote information source that support research on the local knowledge and it use the modern society. And we are now is modern society. How the local knowledge in modern society is big task to our generation. And then the third publication, the value, contribution, importance of local knowledge for local community and non-indigenous atau non-local community. Okay, next. What is the library contribution to knowledge preservation? The first one is involving traditional and community leaders. Its library have to make sure that the resource and learning about the local knowledge, about the knowledge is accessible to generation. And then adding value to local community with recording media or make the documentation to the community so we will can access the local knowledge. And then the third, support recognition or intellectual property rights. Maybe review last year or 2 years ago or 10 years ago, we still have the issue about the our culture is what I say because it's too sensitive. Our culture take the another country is like rendang, what is reok, Ponorogo, and then sarung, and it's still we talk about the intellectual property rights in local culture, and library have to contribution to preserve that product, to preserve that knowledge about the product, because the knowledge is intangible knowledge, and the product is tangible knowledge. That the more important thing is the intangible knowledge. And then next, okay, what is the library in knowledge preservation rule? The first one is recording content, usage, and habit. And then the second one is providing media that support the local content using the information communication technology. And then the third is recording of transformation pattern in the local community and maintaining local knowledge in the lives of local community. Okay, next. Okay. How the implementation in Indonesia, library in Indonesia, protecting knowledge preservation with media. We know that many institutions in Indonesia implementing knowledge preservation. The first, like collecting and dissemination ancient manuscript by National Library, and then collecting thematic documentation according to the regions in each province in Indonesia, and then document research result related to local knowledge if the knowledge published in research. And then the last one is local knowledge acquisition program is National Research and Innovation Agency in Indonesia. We hope that Indonesian wealth and local knowledge will be able to provide the solution in modernization and globalization era. We can use the information and communication technology to filter and survive this knowledge, because the young generation have the digital literacy, have the media literacy, and it can be used to protecting our local knowledge, because our local knowledge is important to Indonesia, because Indonesia have many many knowledge that it's still we use now. It is important to recognize and respect the role of local knowledge and wisdom to young generation in Indonesia, especially as making sustainable policies both of regional and central levels, but to individual, to our as we are as the users, we are as the young generation in Indonesia, we have to protect the valuable asset. We have to have the we have to contribute in to preserve local knowledge in media, especially to our student as a librarian have to contribute to protect the local knowledge in the media. Okay, maybe we can discuss about this topic in the after all the my presentation. Okay, thank you Pak Heri Samtani.
Now we are going to discussion session, but before we go there, I need to greet Dr. Sophia Adiyeye. Hello, Dr. Sophia. Thank you so much for joining this session. It's an honor for us. If you have something to discuss, don't hesitate to raise your hand. Okay, so to all the participants, you may deliver the question by raise your hands. Note that please raise your hands first before you deliver your question. Anyone who wants to ask the question, just raise your hands. Okay, while waiting the questioner, actually I have one question to our third speaker, Mrs. Elfitri Kurnia Erza. Okay, this is my question. What's your opinion about young people in Indonesia who use social media like TikTok, Instagram as their main source of information because they don't like reading? Yeah. They are very like watching video and etc. Because I think watching video is easier and funnier than reading. They don't like reading. They don't like reading newspaper. Then they don't like reading magazine, and absolutely they don't like reading scientific paper. So what's your opinion, Mrs. Elfitri Erza?
Okay, thank you, Pak Heri Samtani. I think it's our problem when student we have no boundaries to about the social media and the real life. And when we ask them uh, to access information about the task or um, about the materi in colleagues or in their task, they have to make the task with surely um, have to what we'll see that have to access the many media to their task, especially like social media. We have TikTok, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, and the source of information in the social media. They took that information to the papers, and we know that it's not the scientific. It's not the uh, it's not the um, sometimes the information is not correct, and then and then the students still access this media to the source of information to paper. I think student uh, have to skill of information literacy or digital literacy, because in information literacy we know that the identification information, and then we will learn about the accessing information, and then we know about how to evaluating information, and then we know about the how to voting, how to make paper on articles with no plagiarism, and then the student have to learn about the how to presenting knowledge or how to presenting information with scholarly communication, and not about the popular information, not using popular information in the social media. They have to choose information from the many various media. It's not the social media. Even they have to use social media, they have to choose that who the creators of this content. It's the point of the using media to learn in the higher education. Thank you, Pak Sam.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Elfitri. So interesting talk about social media. Okay, so to all the participants, do you want to ask the question to Mrs. Elfitri Kurnia Erza? Just raise your hand.
We know that the student have information literacy program in the library in higher education, and I'm sure that the student have this skill.
Okay. Yes, the student. Are you there? Or maybe all the participant. Okay, okay. Rido Ibnu Siva. Yeah. Please the operator to unmute Rido Ibnu Siva. Okay. Okay, you can deliver your question.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Ridho Sifa, and I'm from Islamic University, Imam Bonjol Padang. I would question about the speaker said that we as a student have to preserve and presentation and new information that we got. As we know that many information that we got, we don't know how to preserve it, how to present it in a good way, how we can make it into a uh, simpler question or synthesis. In literacy pharmacy, we have to gather all information and we have to collect information and then we make into a new information that have to useful to many other people. So how to do that in good other way as a student in this era? Thank you.
Thank you, Rido Ibnu Sifa. Yeah. Mrs. Elfitri
Okay.
Erza, you can
Okay.
answer the question.
Thank you, Ridon Ibnu Sifa. And we know that the student have digital literacy, and then when you need to presenting material in your class, the first one you have to reading more reading materials. Why you have to reading? Why we have to reading? I say we have to because mine too have to reading because when we have a reading and we have the we see we are for example we have a glass the empty glass and it's like our knowledge about the material, and then we have a empty glass and we have to full with water, and it's the reading material. When we reading, we we when we reading materials, when we reading many articles, when we reading many journals, I think we will learn anything, learn much content, learn much information, and then we get the many information, we get many knowledge, and we have full fill of glass. We can pour in into the small glass, and it's mean when we have many knowledge, many information, we have many reading materials, we can write the information with interpreted from the reading material. And that's why we have to reading the article, we have to reading many source of information to make sure that the information that we create to presentation is not the something is not we never learn. And then for example, we need to presentation about literacy, digital literacy. The task is about the model literacy information literacy model. We need to learn about the model literasi information literacy model. We need to reading about the empowering 8, maybe big 6, and then we need to read the many model of information literacy to make sure that we present that model literacy is to make sure that information that about the model literacy can be used, can be presenting to your friends, to our friends in class. It's mean that we have to reading many materials, we have to see many source of information, we have to learn about the how to public speaking, to transfer our knowledge, to transfer our information, to make people understand what we said in the presentation. It is, I hope it will answer this Rido's question.
Thank you, Ibu.
Yes, thank you for Rido for your asking the question, and I think all love this enough. And thank you to all the participants, and especially thank you for our speaker, Mrs. Elfitri Erza. After this, we have a documentation session. So stay in the virtual Zoom to all the participants. And I'm Heri Samtani. I say thank you once again. See you again, and I will call back our host today, Kaiza and Baik.
Thank you, Mrs. Elfitri, for sharing your insightful knowledge by the core session. And thank you, Mr. Heri Samtani, for leading our main agenda this morning. Before we taking a break session, we have a photo session first. So for all audiences, please set your camera on. So for the first slide, 1, 2, 3. The second slide, 1, 2, 3. The third slide, 1, 2, 3. And the next slide, 1, 2, 3. The next slide, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, so we will have a break session, and please return to Zoom at 12:30 p.m. after break, and kindly access the materials and other activities on Layar Yarsi through your respective accounts, which have been sent by the committee via email. And please, we kindly remind you again to fill the attendance link via Google form that will be sent via Zoom chat. Once again, we remind you to fill the attendance link via Google form that will be sent by the committee with Google form link in a chat Zoom. Okay, see you again after break, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ladies and gentlemen, without much notice, we have entered the second session, which also happened to be the last session of today's event. We kindly remind to all the participants to turn your camera on and stay in the Zoom as the next course will be given.
Now, allow us to read the curriculum vitae of our moderator this afternoon, Mr. Fatur Rahman, M.Kom, M.Kom. He is a full-time lecturer at Department Informatics from Universitas Yarsi, Jakarta, and his education background, he has a bachelor degree of Science in Informatics, Faculty of Information Technology, Yarsi University from 2010 until 2014, and he has a master degree in Computer Science from Faculty of Computer Science, Indonesia University, 2015 until 2017. Now, let us hear the reading of our speaker's CV by our moderator, Mr. Fatur Rahman. Please go ahead.
Halo, Assalamualaikum. Halo, Assalamualaikum. Halo. Okay.
Waalaikumsalam.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Thank you for MC for introducing me. Okay. Before we start to the next session, today we are very honored to have with us an esteemed scholar and expert in the field of information management, Associate Professor Dr. Asmadi Mohammed Ghazali from the College of Computing, Informatics and Mathematics at the University Technology Mara, UITM, Kedah. Well, before we start, I would like to read Dr. Asmadi CV. Okay. Well, with a strong educational background, Dr. Asmadi obtained his Bachelor in Information Studies, especially in report management, and his Master in Information Technology, and his PhD in Information Management. For his career, he has served as librarian, lecturer, senior lecturer, and now as an associate professor at UITM. He also has administrative experience, such as the corporate relation coordinator, industrial relations officer, head of center, deputy director of student affairs, and as a rector of UITM. His area of expertise in record management and archive administration, library and information management, and information technology. He has mentored many PhD and master students, covering topics from digital records, preservation, digital records preservation, blockchain technology, and the role of technology in libraries. He also has authored numerous influential publications in respected journals covering topics from electronic governments and record management, digital libraries, technology's roles in education, and sustainable model for tahfiz schools by integrating wakaf in bicara concepts. Okay, next. Dr. Asmadi has contributed significantly to literature, including authoring books on library and information science innovation, leadership, and cultural heritage. He has also contributed to chapter 2 books that discuss the impact of electronic sources on collection development, the historical significance of Gunung Jerai, and innovative model for sustainable education institutions. Okay, next. Dr. Asmadi has been invited to deliver his remarkable research and invited presentation at national and international level conference, and his paper deals into wide range of subjects from Java programming package, records management competencies, that integration of wakaf in Java for sustainable in private schools. Also, he has been recognized for his exceptional work through numerous awards in national and international innovation, and design competition. Especially his project like the mobile digital library system and digital library use support system have received gold medal for their innovative approach to enhancing library service. He also has led numerous research projects, including studies on information kiosk design, most library in Kedah, and the impact of electronic information on library collection management. He also had 2 intellectual properties. The first one is maybe for tahfiz, and the second one is Batik Merbuk in 2016. And also last year, he also received several awards. For example, Anugerah Penceramah Terbaik Hari Quality and Inovasi ITM Kedah 2023, and Anugerah Inspirasi Kecemerlangan Hari Quality and Inovasi Kedah 2023. He also joined professional membership, for example, associate members Majelis Profesor Negara, Professional Technologies, Malaysia Board of Technologies, and Fellow of Malaysian Public Service Member. In addition to his academic and research contribution, Dr. Asmadi Mohammed Ghazali is actively engaged in accreditation panels and professional societies. He served on panels for both local and international accreditation against and leads academic societies. Furthermore, he actively involved as a judge in various innovation and design competition. And also, he also contributes to organizing various national and international conferences. For example, lastly in 2017, the 5th Joint International Conference on New Challenge for Statistical Software, the use of R in official statistics, and many more conferences. Dr. Asmadi has managed over 12 international collaborations with prestigious institutions worldwide, enhances student and lecturer exchanges and cultural engagements. He also awarded by numerous awards and initiatives such as the UITM Entrepreneur Awards and Ministry of Education Entrepreneur Award. He also been honored with the UITM Entrepreneur Award 201 for Entrepreneur Campus of the Year 2015 and the Ministry of Education Entrepreneur Award in 2015. He also involved in cultural and tourism program, for example, commercializing batik Perbok to become an iconic brand in Kedah, introducing batik Kedah Tua with the motif of Sungai Batu ancient monuments, introduction to the Bambunyi, the first bamboo orchestra in Malaysia. Last but not least, Dr. Asmadi is deeply involved in community service and social work in the last few years. Created an MOU with the Kedah Public Library Corporation for model of rural library training management in 2016, creating collaboration with Jabatan Zakat Negeri Kedah, and ended with signing an MOU for zakat deduction for UITM Kedah start 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our speaker today, Associate Professor Dr. Asmadi Muhammad Ghazali. He will deliver talk about digital transformation, big data, and other emerging technology for language. Dr. Asmadi, the time is yours.
Okay. Can all of you hear me? Is it clear?
Yes, very clear.
All right. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon. First of all, to the Bapak Muhammad Fatur Rahman, and then also to the Miss Chairpersons, and also I'm not sure. I think is Ibu Indah. Yes, yeah, Ibu Indah. Also Ibu Indah. Yeah, and also to the management of the Yarsi University for inviting me for today's program. I'm very honored to participate. A so-called the name of the program is the Digital Transformations, Interplay of Technology, Culture, and the Role of Librarianship in the Global Area. All right. So before that, Bapak Fatur Rahman, before I start a sharing session for today, so how many hours for me to share the sessions?
Yeah, about
Is it 1 hour?
Yeah, about 1 hour and 30 minutes. Then we can go to the question and answer session.
Okay, all right. So Bapak Fatur Rahman, I hope that you can stop me if I am over the time. All right. Okay. So let me share the slide for today. Wait a minute. Okay, can Bapak Fatur Rahman, can you see the slide?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, is it okay?
Is it okay?
Okay, all right. So I am using a PDF file rather than instead of using a PowerPoint. So I think the PDF format is quite what we call is a good format for a presentation for me. So I am using a PDF format. So my name is Asmadi bin Muhammad Ghazali. Thank you to Bapak Fatur Rahman for introducing me to all the students. Before that, Bapak Fatur Rahman, may I know uh, the students, okay, for this session is participated from which country instead of Indonesia? What country are involved with this session?
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, last time I heard that the participation is also come from Nigeria, also from most
Okay,
of them are from Indonesia as well.
okay, okay. All right, all
Please
right.
correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe Miss Ibu Indah can clarify about that, about the participant.
Okay, never mind. All right, yeah. So I hope that's all the students and all the participants. You can just relax and just to hear, all right, topics. Basically, in the evening session is a I mean, yeah, you have spent your energy in the morning, so maybe in the evening, you may be not weak enough, but maybe you are start to sleepy. But don't worry, just sit and listen. The sharing from me. The title of my presentation today is about digital transformations, big data, and other emerging technologies for librarians. All right. So, okay, this is the contents of the presentation for today. We will start with the introductions, and then number two about the big data and the emerging technologies, and then I will continue with the characteristics of big data, and then types of big data tools, and then contributing factors for big data development. And then we will start to continue with the emerging technologies, so-called artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and then the Internet of Things, IoT, and then about the augmented reality, AR, and the virtual reality, or VR. And then we continue with a cloud computing, then mobile application. And I want also to touch a bit about the Society 5.0 and the connections with the digital transformations. And then when we are talking about Society 5.0, we must also to elaborate about the Industry 5.0 because it is connected also with the digital transformations. And then a little bit about what are the requirement and also preparations for the academic librarians. So I believe that all the students here, inshallah, in the next future, you will become as a librarian. So what is the preparation? What are the things? What are the facets that you need to prepare yourself towards facing the society 5.0, industry of 5.0, as well as in the digital transformation era. And then we see a little bit about the job skill to succeed towards digital transformation, especially for students, how you can prepare yourself, all right, to face the digital transformation era. And last one, I would like to share a little bit about the list of competency, which comprises of a knowledge, skill, and the attitudes of academic librarians. So this is part of my research that I have conducted in year 2021, right? So I think I can share with you based on a Malaysian perspective. Okay, all right, let's start with the introduction. Okay, so when you see my slides, Bapak Fatur Rahman is quite lengthy, yeah. Okay, but don't worry. Why it is quite lengthy? Because we are talking about the big data. A big data is a large data sets. So my points, my text should be large. But anyway, I have highlighted with different colors to see what is the point, what is the important point for the student, for the participant. Yeah. Okay. Firstly, when we are talking about the digital transformations, people might say that transformation is about adopting new emerging technology. When we start to emerge, when we start to embed a new technologies, a new software to our library, for example, that is a digital transformation. But basically, a digital transformation is more wider than that. Digital transformation is also referred to the how can we create the role and the value of the library. Okay, if you spend so many fund to create a good network, good apps in your library, but it does not given a certain value to the users as well as your staff, that is not a good transformation. And especially in the era of the Industry 4.0. Okay, over here, Industry 4.0. Sometimes we call it as the Industry Revolutions 4.0, but some call it as the Industry 4.0. And then in a certain country, they have started to use the term Industry 5.0. I believe that all the students or the participants have heard about the Industry 5.0, especially in Japan. They are more far advanced with us. They have started the Industry 5.0. And then at the same time, there is also the Society 5.0. All right. So this is the technology is keep updating every days. So basically, when we are talking about the transformations as our topic by today, uh, the transformation should cover also the needs, okay, a changing needs, and also the expectation of users, our communities, and our partners. So, for example, I'm from UITM, so we have one academic library. So, the development of the transformation from the library should also influence the needs from the student as well. For example, from the academician, from the lecturers, and all the people in the university. So we must to know what are their needs, what are their expectations to the library. Okay, a second point. A digital transformation in library also involve the exploitation of emerging technology. So I will brief later on what kinds of emerging technologies that we want to use. And basically, the emerging technologies generally will help us, will help the library, for example, to enhance services, all the services, right? Number two, to streamline the operation, all right, to make sure the operation is in a good condition, effectively and in convenience with the library environments. And also, we must to also adapt with the needs of the users, all right? So the needs of the users is basically is very important thing. So I will, later on, I will try to connect needs of users with the society 5.0. All right, let's move to the what is actually the digital transformation. So this is based on the definitions. Okay, commonly transformation is about doing things differently. So what does it mean by here? Doing things differently. Okay, so this is by Savvy 2021. So doing by as I understand what did mention by Savvy 2021, doing things differently is we try to embed a new technology. All right, we want to embed. Okay, we want to invest a new technology to our library. So that is a transformation. Basically, we use a modern information and a computer technologies. All right, that is a very general definition. Okay, a second definition by the Pendulo 2023, he mentioned that the integration of digital technologies into all areas of library work resulted a fundamental change. Okay, a fundamental change on how the library can bring a value to a community. So you see again the word value. Okay, the word value. So when we are talking about digital transformation, first thing first is the value. All right, the value to the communities, the value to the users of our libraries. Okay, and Pendulo 2022 also believe that the integration will increase the efficiency and also the productivity to the library. All right. Number three, digital informations also influence the existing knowledge to profoundly change the nature of the organization through its culture. All right, you have seen the word culture here. Yeah? Okay, the culture here is referring not to the way, okay, the way of the process, and then also to the management strategy, technological, and the operational structure. And then it's position the customer at the center of all decision. So you can see that a customer here. So the customer here is a users. So as I mentioned just now, to the user's expectation. So this is connected with the society 5.0 when we are giving a priority to the users as well as the customer as the center of every decision if we want to transform our library to become digitized. Okay, there are three terms. There are three terms. Sometimes we are quite confused the definition of every terms. The first term is about digitization. Number two, digitalizations. And number three, digital transformation. So these three terms have a difference. Sometimes it looks similar, but it has a difference. So I will try to scrutinize what is the difference between these three terms, right? And by the way, this term is used interchangeably. All right. And the first one is about digitization. Okay, digitization. Please bear in mind, this is about the conversions. Okay, we want to convert the information from a physical to the analog form. Okay, a physical or analog form to become digital. So digitization is about the process. Okay, process to convert from again from the analog and then to become a digital formats. All right, that is number one. Number two, digitalizations is a process of enabling to enable or improving a process by leveraging. Okay, to leverage. Leverage means to make benefits of digital technologies and also a digital data. All right, now look at the digital transformation. A digital transformation is the process of utilizations of a digital technology to overhaul existing business or to improve the existing business process. Okay, in order to improve the process, it is involved with the others emerging technologies. Okay, for example here, like a big data, IoT, and also the cloud computing. All right. So this table may show you the difference between digitalizations, and also digital transformations. Okay. Can you see the difference in terms of the focus, in terms of the goals, in terms of the activities, in terms of the tool, and in terms of, and then the example. All right. I would say that if I want to differentiate maybe we start with a digitalization. Digitalization is likely a past tense, all right? And then digitalization is about currently a present tense, and the digital transformation is likely the impact from the process of digitalization and also digitalization. Okay. Okay. For example, we look at the first one. Okay. For this one is the data conversion. And then the goal is to change the analog to digital formats. For example, we are converting documents, physical documents, of photo, microfilms, and then of VHS, or we call it as a video home system, okay, in the tape recorder, to become a digital format, right? And then tools that we use is a tool for a conversion or encoding equipment because we want to change the formats. For example, we do scan a paper-based uh, registration form, for example. Okay, and then digitalization is the processing. We process. The goal is to automate the existing business operation and process. So what kinds of activity? We create the creations of completely digital work processes. We use tool, the IT system and the computer application. For example, completely electronic registration process. So when you see the word digital transformation, it is likely the impact from the both process. For example, digital transformation focus on the knowledge leveraging. We want to make benefits to the knowledge. The goal is to change the company culture. Culture here refer to the, for example, a management strategy. Okay, the structure of the business. Maybe we start to change the missions. We change the objective for the company. All right, and the way of the company will more efficiently by using a certain digital transformation technology. The activity, creation of a new digital companies or transformation to a digital one. And then tools, I call it as a matrix of new. Matrix here means that, um, for example, kinds of maybe this company use a cloud technology. So that is the impact from the birth process. Okay, all right. So this is the different a different between the three terms used in the digital transformation. All right. Now we go to a big data. Okay, as the title of this speech concern on big data, now we look how the big data influence digital transformation. Big data and a few emerging technologies. Okay, historically, the words of big data come from the word data science concept. So I have referred to the first, to the origins definitions by the IFLA, uh, the definition of data science concept. So we see what is the definition. Data science operates across a continuum and can cover research involving profound mathematical and software engineering skill, concentrating on engagement, policy creations, preparation of knowledge management, and decision making based on facts. This is the definition by the IFLA. I think when I see this kind of definition, I personally is not quite understand because this is a data science concept. All right. Then when it's continued to the academic perspective, okay. So a data science, uh, it is more towards a large scale of data processes in a wider trends. Okay. So this is from the academic perspective. All right. And I took one of the quotation from the Kalima and Mogadi 2018. Both of them, they mentioned that uh, there is a significance for libraries to develop big data analytic strategies. So they recommended that top management should better understand the nature of their data and technologies for a big data analytic, so that the data can be processed and analyzed more effectively, efficiently, and can help for a strategic planning process and also a decision-making process. Okay, so what does it mean by this definition? Okay, when you see the word a big data analytic strategies, the word analytic, or sometimes we call it as a BDA, a big data analytic. So basically, I found that I have friends as academic librarians, in public libraries, librarians, okay, many kinds of librarians, also in Malaysia. So when I ask them their understanding about the big data, they does not have give me a very significant answer on what is the actually the definition of big data analytic. When I ask them a certain technology used in the library, all right, can they relate with, for example, cloud computing, IoT, blockchain technology? So they cannot differentiate the technology, the application is fall into which emerging technology. All right? Do you understand what does it mean by, okay, for example, we go here, we go to the first one. Okay, this is the example of the emerging technologies, continued from the big data. For example, AI, blockchain technology, Internet of Things, AR, VR, cloud computing, mobile application, for example, right? So I asked my friends among a librarian, uh, can they determine a certain application or certain system used or applied in the library which is fall into which category? I mean, either number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they are confused. They are confused. Either the apps is under the artificial intelligence, or the apps is under the blockchain technology, or either the apps or application is under the IoT. So that is the what we call the issue nowadays. Okay, we know there is a new application, but we confuse that kinds of application fall into which category of the emerging technologies. Okay, right. So we go back here. Okay, we start this one. Okay. Bapak Fatur Rahman, is it okay? So far okay?
Yes, 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 very clear.
Okay, okay, all right, yeah? All right. uh, a big data analysis focus on the three techniques by Ekoka, et al. 2017. They define that in the big data analysis, there are three techniques, a so-called clustering. Clustering means we segmentize, okay? We make it in group. That is a clustering. And then number two is the classification. We classify. All right, there's a big data, there's a large data set. So now we need to classify. Okay, and then a prediction. So the prediction here is referred to the pattern. What is the pattern, or what is the trend? Right? So we predict the trend and we predict a pattern. So that is a technique in a data analysis. All right. Next, big data is a term used for large data set with large and complex structure. So I hope that participant can imagine it is come and I believe that all the students from a library say you have been exposed with the information explosion. Okay, there are so many kinds of information, there's so many types of information, there are so many formats of information. Sometimes we confuse which kinds of information that are most reliable. in terms of the validity and the reliability. Okay, because there are too many kinds of information. All right. So a big data concept is we must to classify. All right, we must to classify. We must to make it a cluster to every information so that we may understand every formats of information in the digital era. Okay. So the utilization of data is important resources that can be overwhelming because the huge amounts of available data. All right. And then according to Salman et al. 2020 and Al-Barashdi and Al-Karusi 2018, big data analytics is affected by two challenges, especially in the field of library and information services. For example, number one, as I mentioned just now, huge in terms of the value. Choices. We confuse to choose which kind of information that are related with our needs. All right? And sometimes we are also not quite understand the level of data. Okay? That is the first challenge. A second challenge is the analytic technique and the algorithm are complicated. Okay? What kinds of big data tools that we may use, especially for the analytic process, and also what kinds of algorithm, all right, that involve with data mining, text mining that we may use, and sometimes if we can process a data, the task is quite intensive. It's quite very hard to analyze the big data. All right. So that is among two challenges, two issues when we deal with the big data. Okay. All right. Okay. Next slide. To accommodate with the huge value of data, there is one a so-called cloud storage technology can be used, can be applied. This is by Salman et al. 2020 and also by Al-Barashdi and Al-Karusi in 2018. They recommended the use of cloud storage. So cloud storage is one element of emerging technologies. Okay, nowadays that we may apply. All right. Why we must choose a cloud system, a cloud technology? Okay, because, all right. For example, I want to ask the participant here. Okay, anyone that understand what is a cloud storage? I believe that all of you have heard the word cloud. Okay, a cloud technology, a cloud system, a cloud storage. Can any one of you to share with me, based on your understanding, what is a cloud storage? What do you understand by the cloud storage? Anyone want to try? Anyone?
Yeah. Or maybe the participant can write their answer in chat.
Yeah.
So read the answer.
All right. Participant, from your understanding, not from the books, not from a reference, from your understanding. What do you understand by your own perspective about a cloud? What is cloud technology? Sometimes we call it as a cloud system. Sometimes we call it as a cloud storage. So what is the cloud is all about? Anyone? No. Okay, never mind. I give the answer. Okay. All right, just listen. Huh? Okay. When people ask you what's a cloud storage, okay, cloud mean we that is about our computer data. This is about a data or a digital data that is stored on server. Okay, we store on the server in off-site location. Right? And this server, these kinds of server maintained by the third-party provider. Okay, by the third-party provider. And what is the responsible with this provider? This provider must to the responsibility is to hosting, to manage, and then to secure the data store. Is it correct, Bapak Fatur Rahman? Bapak Fatur Rahman is from computer science, right?
Yeah, very great. That's right.
Yeah, all right. Okay. My second question. What is the example of cloud storage? Anyone? The example of cloud storage. And that is free. You can use that. And I believe that all of you, maybe some of you have applied with these free applications that are related with the cloud storage. Anyone?
Yeah, some participants. Some participants chat also is like Google Drive or Microsoft Drive.
Okay. What else? Google Drive.
Yeah, Dropbox maybe.
Yeah, Dropbox. Dropbox, huh? Dropbox. Yes. That is the example of free, okay, cloud storage that we can use. All right. Very good. Okay. Now, the librarian's role in a big data. Okay. What is the responsibility? What is the role of the librarian in the big data environment? Okay, we look at the number one. Every librarians, okay, they should understand the capabilities of the big data. What is the big data? How the big data can help them? The functions of big data and how the big data can utilizing or make it efficient of the records to be more effectively. Okay, this is by Ridholter and Whitman's 2014. Means that every librarians or you as a students, the information management or library science student, first thing first, you should know the concepts of big data. All right, number one. Number two, applying big data tools by using data mining and a massive statistical tool in the academic library. This one is recommended by Sandu 2015, and then collecting, developing, and preserving statistics by Gordon Mernon 2012, and developing the techniques according to the statistic objective by Wicks 2012. Then by Kittle 2014, depositing big data by converting manuscript into information repositories controlled by a library. Means that I believe that in all the libraries in all over the world, in all over countries, you may have the original, the physical manuscript of information. Okay? By converting the manuscript, as I mentioned just now, we convert from the analogs to digital, and then we put in a certain system, a so-called information repositories. So we believe that it can be dispersed to many crowd, to many users, broadly and widely. Okay, but anyway, the process of conversion. And then by Kill 2014, again, sharing big data facilities and product, then supporting big data users by providing studies of statistics, and then creating a big data literacy program. So this is the main responsibility of the librarian on literacy, okay? And then to understand the challenges. Of course, in whatever technologies, especially in big data, there must be the challenge. okay, by January 2015. So among the challenges here, I have mentioned just now, okay, by Salman, there are two challenges right here in this slide. This is a challenge. Okay. Okay, next slide. About drivers. Number one, we go to the user expectation. Yeah? Based on Pendulo 2020, some of the drivers of digital transformation include, okay, the drivers here also involved with a factor. Okay, the factor of a transformation. Yeah? Number one is about the user expectation. Okay, why? So you can see that access to internet and ICT equipment has become norms. Okay, become norms in our society nowadays. As a student, in the community, society, right? That is the expectation. Number two, competition. Okay, library have to compete. Okay, so you just imagine that my student itself, my student, when I ask them, okay, find the information about blah blah blah. My student refer to refer to the Mr. Google rather than to go to the libraries, rather than to refer to the a database in the libraries. There are so many kinds of database in UITM libraries, but they are more preferred to use to see the Mr. Google, right? And then they ask the Mr. Chat GPT 3.5. So, see, that is a competition. So, as a librarians, okay, or staff in the library, you must to think over, to rethink how to invite, how to make sure that the users, the patrons, the students, especially in the academic library, come to the library. All right? So, you must to prepare a very good information sources. That is one of the competition. And then new normal. Okay, this is the last 4 years and 5 years. Okay, we have facing the pandemics, the COVID-19 pandemics. Even though the COVID-19 pandemic creating or introducing a new normal. Everyone are using online. We can buy things from online. Class also we can do online. So many things that we do online. Right. So it's become the new normal. Also the interviews, staff interview we conducted by the online session. So it is a new normal. Today there is a new normal. Do online. All right. Conducted online. Okay. Buy online. And then the next driver is about the increase in the online teaching and learning in university. So far as for today's, I can see all of you by using Zoom, and I can see my friends from Indonesia, from Thailand, from Nigeria as well. So there is the increase in the ability by using the online teaching. And then increase in user needs and declining budget in ability to provide physical facilities or physical information resources. So when we are talking about the virtual libraries, digital libraries, right? So a library now is start to shrink. Okay, I will discuss in the next slide about the in terms of the physical facilities of the physical information. I will explain in the next slide. And then the last one is the preference for online services by the younger generation. And I believe that all of the participants is come from a younger generation. So you are more preferred to use the online services. So in summary, the integration of big data, emerging technologies in library enable them to adapt to the digital era. The IR 4.0, the IR 5.0, a society 5.0, which will enhance the user experience and to make it every operation in more efficient and effective way. All right. So for all the librarians, for all the students in the library and information management, library from information science, you must to think what are the possibilities of every section in the emerging technology that are suit enough with your libraries. Okay? Because I believe that I can deliver this topic based on my perspective, based on the Malaysian perspective. Okay, based on what the technologies, what kinds of emerging technologies that have been used in the Malaysia. And I believe that in Indonesia, in Thailand, in Nigeria, you also have your own technological perspective that you can share with us. Okay, so right, again about big data. So now we go more detail about what is a big data actually. So big data defined as a complex and voluminous sets of information comprising structure, unstructured, and a semi-structured. Okay, there are three types of data. Yeah? Okay. Now, we straight away go to this one. Okay, this picture. You can see the word volumes, veracity, variety, velocity, and value. When people ask you, what is the characteristic of big data? So you can answer, there are five. There are five characteristics of a big data. Number one is about volume. Number two is about veracity. Number three is about variety. Number four is about velocity. Number five is about value. Can you explain each of them? All right, that is the explanation. Okay, we go one by one. Okay, for five characteristics. Number one is about volume. So volume here refer to the vast amounts of data. So of course, as I mentioned just now, in the earlier of my speech just now, vast amount of data, there is a large data sets of information. So the volume is too many in terms of the amount, there is so much, vast, huge amount, vast amounts of data. So bear in mind, in terms of volume, vast amount, huge amount of data. For example, how? For example, from a social media, okay, from your the information that you post, everybody posts in the social media, from the cell phone, from the credit cards, images and the videos, okay. So the data will more grow from time to time. And then the measurement from gigabytes, zettabytes, yottabytes, okay. I'll give you, for instance, Facebook, for example, Facebook generates around 1 billion messages daily. Okay, daily. For example, records the like button 4.5 billion times and uploads over 350 million new posts each day. So there is a vast amount of data, vast amounts of information every day that we create, all right, from this source. Yeah? Okay, so how to store, how to process this voluminous data? So for today, one example that can be used today is the HEDOC. Okay, HEDOC system like HEDOC. HEDOC can organize. There is one of the we call it the big data tools, so-called HEDOC. It can organize the data and to cluster from various sources. All right, that's number one, volume. So when we are talking about volume, this is about the vast amount of data. Number two, variety. Okay, variety refer to the types of data. Okay, so in variety, there are three. One we call it structured, number two semi-structured, and number three unstructured. So don't worry, we will continue about the structured, semi-structured, and the unstructured in the next slide. But the variety is about types of data. Okay. Number three, about veracity. When we are talking about the veracity is referring to the reliability of the data, the correctness of the data, the validity. Okay. Sometimes we use the word reliability. Sometimes we use the word validity. Also the correctness of data. Okay. Because when we have poor in the veracity, the data is not valid, so it may impact in terms this accuracy of the data findings. So basically, when we are talking about the veracity, it is about the unstructured data, okay, especially on the unstructured data. So what is the unstructured? I will explain later on. So basically, veracity refer to the reliability or the correctness of data, right? Value. Number 4 is value. Value means the impacts of the data, okay, the trustworthy of the data. For example, either the value give the good impact to one organizations in terms of the objective, the missions of the company. So either the value of the information may help, all right, for the growth of the company. So a value here refer to the impacts of the data, how the data is impactful, that can give a good value to the one library or one company, especially in the business company. And number lastly, called as the velocity. Okay, what is a velocity? Velocity is a speed. It is about speed. All right. So, okay, I give you one example. When we are talking about speed, speed means that which data is processed, indicating how quickly it is created. Okay, when we are talking about speed, for example, the data that is generated with high velocity. What kinds of data? Can you give me one example of data that apply a very high of velocity, mean a very good speed? Example of that. Data from which resource? The answer is from the Twitter message and the Facebook post. Example, data that a very high velocity. For example, data from a Twitter message and also the post from your Facebook. So that is an example of high velocity of data. All right. Sometimes we call it as the real time information. That is referred to the velocity. Okay, just now I mentioned about the structured data, semi-structured, and also the unstructured. Okay, now structured data. Okay, a structured data, basically a structured data, it refer on the numbers. Okay, structured data means that you have easy to understand about the meanings of the data. That's why neatly organized information we can organize, for example, numbers. Okay, for example, data or the information in the database. Okay, in the spreadsheets, right? For example, I give you some example here. Okay, such data, for example, is a quantitative. Okay, quantitative. Basically, most of the such data is quantitative. Quantitative means a number. Okay, for example, number, it has row, it has a column. The basic example is the Excel spreadsheet, the Google Sheets, the SQL database, right? That has a rows and columns. The data that when you see the data, you can understand. You can well organize. You know the meanings. That is also a structured data. At the same time, a structured data is data that you can search. You have an easy search, easy sorting, and easy to analyze. All right, there is a structured data. Means that a structured data is more on the facts, fact data. For example, a number or a short terms that can make you to interpret the data easily. Okay, clearly that is a structured data. Okay, now we go to semi-structured data. So semi-structured, it has two characteristics, both structured and the other one is unstructured data. Basically, all right, semi-structured data is like the JavaScript object notation or XML, extensible markup language. I believe that all the students from the library side, maybe you know the script. No? Sometimes we use the script. Okay. For example, SML and then JSON and JavaScript. It has their own script. Okay. So we can consider JSON and XML as one of the semi-structured data and can be used by a certain database or system, a certain system. Okay. Right? And then what is unstructured data? Okay, unstructured data means a qualitative data. A structured, quantitative. Unstructured data is a qualitative. So what is a qualitative? For example, video, animation, okay, audio, picture, text, a large text, a huge text. That is some sort of the unstructured data. Because why, class? Because we have a difficulty to segmentize, to make it cluster for this information. Okay, image, for example, audio, video, all right, a lengthy word processing text. That is a unstructured. Example, right? For example, here, social media comments, tweets, share, post in the YouTube, a video, and also a WhatsApp message. That is example of unstructured data. It's make it hard for us to categorizing, to make it classification for this data. So this is the unstructured data. And most of them is under the qualitative format. All right. To make you more understand, I give you one example. Okay, email, your email. All right, your email. This one, example of structured and unstructured. A real world example of structured versus unstructured data is the date and time of the email. When you send the email, okay, to your friends, okay, you can see the title of the email. Yes, structured. Okay, the titles must be a certain terms, certain task, certain function. That is your title of email. Structured, right? Yes, structured. Date and time you send to your friends. Date and time is also structured. We know date, today, for example. What time? 2 o'clock. Structured that. Okay, there is a structured. And then there are a second part is not unstructured. The unstructured is the contents of the email. Okay, the contents of the email may be unstructured data. Because why? Because it's a lengthy words. Right? You send email to your friends, the content, you can share your experience, for example, and that is unstructured. Because we are not categorizing, we are not clustering the unstructured data yet. Okay? So that is the example, a very good example of to compare a structured and unstructured. Okay, now, for data, a big data tools ni, I hope that you can read from the notes given to the organizer. I want to start with this one. Okay, a factor for big data development. Okay, especially those students, friends, a librarian, if there is a librarian here, if you are willing or if you plan to do research about a big data, all right, this is the framework that you can use. All right, this is the example of what we call as the theoretical framework or the conceptual framework that you can test your research, your study, when the title of the study is referring to the big data. So I took from the Kalima and Moghadi, 2018. Okay, the name of this framework is the Theoretical Frameworks of Big Data Analytic Readiness. Basically, there are so many kinds of framework, but this one is the most latest one. Yeah. Okay, based on the Kalima and Moghadi, if you want to study, if you want to research about a big data environments, situation, factors, issues in the big data, you must to touch your study based on these four main topic. Ataupun 4 variables. The first variable is about the technological context. A second variable is about the organizational context. Third variable about the environmental. And last one is about people. Okay, there's a main title, or we call it a main variable. Number 1, technological context. There is a sub variable that you can investigate in terms of number 1, in terms of the reliability, in terms of the ICT infrastructure, in terms of the security, and in terms of the scalability about the big data. And then number 2, in terms of the organizational context, you may investigate in terms of top management support. This is about the leadership aspect. Yeah? You must to study about the top management. Number 2, about your size of the organizations, your finance as well. Okay, a budget, enough or not enough. Okay, so you must to refer to the finance, culture, the way there is a culture, and the strategies that you may use, right, to enhance a good big data technology. Number 3 is about the environmental. For example, competition. Okay, which factor or which parties that you want to compete. You want to compete with your academic librarian, sorry, with your academic library, all right? And then environmental is also referred to the customer. Who is your customer, or who is your patrons? Who is the users of the library? And then the vendors. The vendor is one of the variable that you can investigate, especially in the environmental context or the big data analysis. And last one, you must also to study about the people characteristic in terms of the skill of the library staff. Some people, here's some librarian, they want to apply, they want to have to develop a very good application system in their library. But in terms of the skill and the knowledge from the staff, right? So they must to enhance the competency of library staff before they want to invest or to embed a certain technology in the library. So people characteristics, the staff skill is very important. And the last one is the readiness to change. So we must to know either your staff is ready to change. Okay, maybe some of the staff are not ready to change. They like to use the all this technology. Okay, and for example, maybe the updated technologies is not sufficient with your collection in your library. All right, your library is still preferring to use a manual system. So that is the thing that you need to investigate. All right. Okay. Now we go straight to the AI. Okay. The first emerging technology is about AI. AI is the artificial intelligence. So what is the artificial intelligence? All right. When you see the word personalized recommendation, okay, see the word here, implementing recommendation system by refining metadata. Okay. I want to share with you one. There is not a story. Maybe your experience. Okay. All right. This is about the question. This is a question. I want you to interpret what are the term that suit with my experience. Okay. Okay. One day, I want to buy a supplement. Okay, I want to buy one supplement. So I refer to my Facebook, to my social media, and I start to find supplement. Okay, I want to buy this supplement to my father. Okay, because my father has a high blood. So I want to find what kinds of a good supplement to cure a high blood. Okay, so when I see the post from the Facebook, for example, okay, I see that, okay, this is a supplement about the high blood, to cure high blood and so forth. All right, I start to review, I start to read one by one. Okay, at the page, at the Facebook. Okay, next day, I don't want to see about the supplement, but the posting about the supplement is still available in my Facebook page. Do you understand the environment? Students, participants, have you experienced that? When you start to read something, okay, next day, that thing will frequently come to your post. I hope you can understand the experience. All right? Bapak Fatur Rahman, have you familiar with that experience, Bapak Fatur Rahman?
Yes, absolutely. Almost every day, I don't know the way that social media also know what things that I searching for, something like that.
Okay. All right. My question, maybe Bapak Fatur Rahman can help me, yeah? What okay, the scenario, what are the terms that can we determine that scenario? What is the technology? Do you have any idea? Bapak
Yeah,
Fatur Rahman.
yeah, it is in our field. We also got a recommendation system that accumulate data from the transactional and also train AI model to predict
Yeah.
whether things that we want to search, something like that.
All right. All right. So, in my perspective, that situation is referring to the we call as the AI algorithm, artificial intelligent algorithm. Okay, the one is called is the artificial intelligent algorithm. All right. So there are two process of this algorithm. Number one, we call as a text mining. Text mining means that they are it is referring to the textual data. Number two, we call as a data mining. Data mining is more focused on the numerical number or the categorical. So that one is called the AI intelligence algorithm. All right. So here, number one, personalized recommendation, implementing a recommendation system by refining data for image, books, article, other resources, based on users' past preferences and interests. So that is the powerful of the artificial intelligence. They can see our past preferences. Number two, AI also refer to the chatbot and a virtual assistant. For example, integrating AI-powered chatbot or virtual assistant to provide assistance to your users. All right. And then artificial intelligence also refer to the can help you to enhance the efficiency, accuracy, and the user experience in library cataloging, management, and operation, and so forth. All right. I go straight away to the example of AI in the library. This is the example of the AI technology in the library, software that provide reference services by identifying users' textual and vocal referencing contents and replying with corresponding answer. So that is the example of software that embed with the AI technologies. And then I also share with all of you about difference between big data and AI. Okay, all right. What is the difference between big data and the AI? A big data, again, as I mentioned just now, is simply a collection of unstructured information. Okay, just now, I mentioned to you about types of big data. One of them is the unstructured. Example of unstructured information, for example, a video, image, graphic, okay, textual, a lengthy textual, that is an example of unstructured. That is a big data. While AI can be used to process and find information. So basically, AI is under the big data. Okay, number two, a second difference. Big data provide the necessary value of information to train the AI models effectively. So, big data provide the information. AI model will process it. Okay, number three, big data is overarching pool. Okay, overarching pool of information that is accumulated from various data and then analyzed by the AI. So still, big data is up to the AI. The other one, big data and artificial intelligence are often used in conjunction. Yes, big data and AI is still connected together. And there is a question from my student. Will AI replace of librarian? Will replace the librarian? Because nowadays we are keep talking about the AIs, the good of AIs. AI can replace the librarian. So where is librarian? Either we want to decrease the number of librarian in the library because it just to shift to the AI. My answer is librarians who adapt their skill to work alongside AI are likely to remain indispensable, okay, in the digital age. AI may change the way library works. Yes, of course. We are sure that AI can change the rules and the responsibility of the librarian's work and enhance their capability. But the human expertise and the personal touch that librarians probably are likely to remain essential components of the library service. We still must to have a human factor, human resource. Okay, so a librarian that will not lose their job that replaced by the AI. No, a librarian they must to understand what is the AI, and then with their human expertise, with their human touch, they can manage the library with assistant with the AI. AI can help, can assist the librarian. Okay, so a librarian is still available in whatever condition, in whatever era. Okay, all right. Uh, Bapak Fatur Rahman, do I have still time?
Yeah, you have maybe 5 minutes, 15 minutes more.
50 minutes more. Okay. All right. 50 minutes more. Don't worry, all the participants, about the blockchain technology, you can read from my slide. About the Internet of Things, also you can read from the slide. And I believe that all of you have been exposed with this topic. Augmented reality, cloud computing. Cloud computing, we just discussed just now about the cloud computing, about the mobile applications. This one. About this one, I will explain about the Society 5.0. Because why all the participants, when we are talking about the digital transformation, they must to connect with the Society 5.0. You can discuss whatever technologies, you can discuss on whatever application that you want to embed, that you want to apply in your library. But do you understand the definition of Society 5.0? So from this slide, I want to share with all of you about the connection between Society 5.0 and a digital transformation. Okay, all right. When you see the definition of Society 5.0, it is about the human-centered society. I believe that all of you will become as a librarian, information officers. Okay, we are the information keeper, right? This is about the value of the librarians. Nowadays, in the Society 5.0, we are focusing on the human-centered society. I share with you this slide first, okay? You can see from this picture, Society 1.0 is about hunting society, 2.0 agrarian society, 3.0 industrial society, 4.0, information society. Now, 5.0, we are moving towards the creative society. Okay, when we are talking about the creative society, creative means it is about the innovations, about the imagination that every users need to be focused. All right, from here you can see that digital transformation, AI with a big data set, and then imagination and creativity of diverse people. So, see, it may impact in terms of the value creation into a problem solving, in terms of the autonomous decentralization, security and safety, and environmental harmony. This is the creativity society. So, as a good librarians, you must to inculcate in your mind, in your future, that we want to create a creative society. So what is a creative society? A creative society is a society that know how to use a library. If they want to find a certain information, yeah, they go to the library. They can use whatever system, they can use whatever application in the library, assisted by you as a librarian. So that is the process to create a creative society. We don't want to create information society, yeah? Participant, society 4.0, yes. There is to make the society inform. That one you call as an information society. But now we are moving to create creative society. So if the library in the academic library, your users is the staff, the lecturers, a student as well, mahasiswa, students, you must think in the environment of the society 5.0, how to create a creative society. Means that what kinds of applications, what kinds of augmented reality, what kinds of virtual reality, what kinds of Internet of Things, what kind of artificial intelligence system that can help you to create society. Okay? This is the way how can we get close to the society, especially users, especially a student, a student from university student. Okay? You must know how to get close with the, not the library, but with the services in the library. That is the society 5.0. All right, we go back to the definition. For example here, integrate cyberspace and physical space. Yes, and by Deguchi, a Japanese, is one of the Japanese researcher, define society 5.0 as the highly intelligent society. Yes, this is the main responsible of the librarians. I believe that all of you will become a librarian, especially students, will become a good librarians. A good librarians in the society 5.0, you must to focus on how to create the intelligent society, not information society, intelligent society, based on the generations, processings, actions of data, and more specifically knowledge through connected. A physical environment is a cyberspace. Okay, next, Society 5.0 era can change the community mindsets about the library. Change the mindset about library. Library is not the place to find books, to read book for a leisure, but it can more than that. All right? So we must to change the mindsets of the library. We must to make sure that library is one of the leisure center. It's not only to find the information, but as the leisure center, we can collaborate, we can do meetings, whatever meetings in the library, and make use of the application and the technologies of the library. All right? That's Society 5.0. Academic library must understand the needs of the users. Yes, this one. We must to see the needs of the user, not needs of the top management. Okay? The top management must to investigate, must to do research, must to do analysis, the needs of the users, especially in the academic library, the needs of the students, as well as the lecturers, because they are the users, the players. Okay? the variables in the libraries. So we must to see the needs of the users. And before this, I can, for example, is slide 29. Can you see this one? See? Digital transformation. This is slide number 4. It positions the customer at the center of all decision and action. So that's why D is the related with the this one, with the society 5.0. Okay, means that, see, users need or our customer. All right. And the role of academic libraries and the assistant can be a solution for the massive development of information. So class, that's why I mentioned to you just now, Society 5.0, it is connected with a big data. All right? Massive development of information. How you categorize, how you cluster, all right? How you see a patterns and the trends of the information. So that is one of the skill and the knowledge that the librarian should acquire, especially in focusing on the Society 5.0. Okay, again, Industry 5.0. All right, I give you one example. This is the missions of the Industry 5.0. See, we start with a 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, now 5.0. Even in the Malaysia, we are still in the 4.0, Industry 4.0. But never mind, we can look more advanced to 5.0. So you can see that 5.0, the theme is the personalization, personalized. So the personalized means also the users. Okay, how the man, the human intelligence and the AI as the backbone of technology in this loop. See what is the definition of the 5.0. The interdependence of man and machine using cognitive computing and human intelligence, mass customization and personalization for human. Okay, all right. Okay, this one. This one is very important. Before I end up my session, I have created this subtitle to all the students. Jobs key to succeed toward digital transformation. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 skills, especially for the student. Okay, for the student in the library and information management, all right, you must to ensure that you have these kinds of skill. You require this kind of skill before you go to the future company, future professions. In the IR 5.0, and then in the digital transformation era, these 8 skills are very, very needed by the company, by the library itself. Number 1, adaptability and flexibility. This one is one of the skill, most important skill that need to require. Okay, because why? The industry was already changing rapidly so in Society 5.0. So graduates, you as graduates, need to be able to adapt, yes, and flexible to whatever workplace environment, and have the ability to continuously update and refresh your skill. Number 1. Number 2, technology savviness. There is one, the best way to prepare yourself towards the Society 5.0, to acquire a technology skill. Whatever skill in the technology, please make yourself experience, explore. Because why? As I mentioned just now, when everything goes digital, so the technology element will be applied rapidly. Okay, for example, technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, VR, AR, robotic, for example, will make businesses more resilient. Okay, more resilient, more hard. So that's why you should have a very good technology skill. Number 3 is also important, creativity and innovations. So that's why, for example, in UiTM, I have embedded one course that are related with the innovation and invention as one of the topic for a final year diploma students. So in this course, the students are required to create one innovative project. So this is how to embed, how to create a sense of creativity and innovations in our students. All right. Number 4 is the data or information literacy, of course, in whatever program in the information science. Information literacy is one of the important element that every student should require. Next is the critical thinking. Another skill that I think is essential is the critical thinking because nowadays students we have seen that there is a various fake news, misinterpretation of data and informations. So not all information should be trusted, but organizations will need to rely on a critical thinking. So you must have a very good critical thinking. Okay, the skill of critical thinking to make sure that you have given a good informed, good what we call as a good decision making in your daily tasks. Next is the digital and coding skill. Okay, I try to speak down. And then leadership. Leadership is also important. All right. And last one is the emotional intelligence. Okay, emotional intelligence is also important. Nowadays, we see that people with the technologies, a lot of people, a lot of students are now started to gain the anxiety, for example. All right. For example, I share with you in UITM Kedah last year we have conduct one research, okay, to study about the mental illness towards the student in UITM, and we found that 40% of the students have anxiety. So it must be a certain factor why the anxiety is one of the diseases among students. So that's why in this era, there should be one skill, a so-called emotional intelligence. Okay, should be required by the students. All right, because the emotional intelligence, when you focusing on the emotional intelligence, it is about the ability to be aware. Okay, the ability to be aware, the ability to express, the ability to control your emotion. All right, and the ability to make sure that your emotion is not influence other people. That's why EQ or emotional intelligence is one of the skill that students should acquire. Lastly, I want to share with you about the last in 2021. I have conducted one research to all the academic library in Malaysia. Okay, so this research is basically to develop the competency profile of the academic librarians, especially in the industrial revolution, and it still can be used in the industrial revolution 5.0, and it still can be used in the 5.0, society 5.0. So, all right, from here you can see that the finding of the research, the finding is this is the knowledge, okay? So the knowledge, skill, and attitude. The first one is about knowledge. This is among the knowledge that a librarian, academic librarian in Malaysia needed. Okay? For example, instruction technology, 74% from all the academic library in Malaysia knows about the instruction technology. So you see, which one is a big data? See? A big data analysis fall in number 12. See here. Okay. So from my findings, the result shows that only 60% of the academic librarian in Malaysia values or have a knowledgeable about the big data analysis. That is the findings. And you can see that there is most of the knowledge For example, here knowledge management, intellectual properties, open source, virtual reality. I have mentioned just now data analytics, robotics and simulation, cloud technology, and last one you can see that we have discussed just now artificial intelligence. Okay, when we are talking about the artificial intelligence, about 40% of all the academic library in Malaysia has knowledgeable about the artificial intelligence. Means that 60% has no knowledge about the artificial intelligence. So that is something is not very, very good. Alright? And then that was skill. There is another skill.
I'm sorry for
Okay?
interrupting, Dr. Asmadi. Your time is up.
Okay. Last one is the attitude. Okay? Don't worry, I have shared in my notes. You can refer to your notes. Alright? I think that's all, Bapak Fatur Rahman.
Okay. Well, very nice presentation. Now we are in the question and answering session. I would like to invite all the participants, if you have questions, you may use the raise hand feature at the Zoom. You can click the raise hand, and then I will allow you to directly provide deliver the questions. Or if you are unable to turn on your mic, you may use the Zoom chat so I can read the questions.
First of all, I want to say sorry, Bapak Fatur Rahman, because too fast, too space, but the most important thing is my notes. Alright?
Yeah, any question from the participants, you can raise hand or you can write your question in the Zoom chat.
Okay. Hopefully Bapak Fatur Rahman also can help me to share your experience also. Okay, students, participants.
Well, while we waiting for the question, maybe I can start with my own question. Actually, it's not a question. I just wondering about your opinion. As we know that there is a significant improvement in artificial intelligence. Last year, one of the company has been released model language, popular known as the similar like ChatGPT. In Google, we also know as Google Bot. It is capable to provide information. Anything we ask that it will deliver the information more accurate. Not 100%, but nearly around 80 to 95% accurate about related information. I just wondering what is your opinions about how these technologies like ChatGPT or Google Bot or AI generative model, something like that, are being used by the librarians, or maybe this AI technology can support the practical applications, or maybe there is a drawbacks about when we use this kind of technologies.
Okay, I'm not so clear about the question, Bapak Fatur Rahman, but I just hear the word ChatGPT, right?
Yes.
Maybe your question is about the impacts of ChatGPT. Is it correct?
Yeah, the impact of the ChatGPT.
Alright, okay.
I don't know. Is it the ChatGPT technologies will be used by the librarians, or maybe impact the practical daily life of librarians or something like that? What is your opinion?
Okay. Alright. Okay, this is based on my perspective, and sometimes it may be different between with the other people. Okay, for me, for your information, Bapak Fatur Rahman, Ibu Indah, okay, in Malaysia, I have started to create one syllabus. Okay, one syllabus, one course for the chat GPT, for the chat GPT. So, as I mentioned just now, a chat GPT is one of the technology. All right. And that is a very good technology. All right. We can find everything about about the resources of the information from the chat GPT. All right. That is very good. In terms of the technological perspective, that is very good. But sometimes there is also a negative impact to our student when they are apply the chat GPT for something which are not against in our profession in the library and information management. We must to find, we must to have a good references, we must to find a good authors, good good resource. Okay, but ChatGPT cannot help them. Right. So that's why I have created one syllabus for the ChatGPT on how to use ChatGPT in a good manner. Because I found that the research itself, okay, because when I did my research, to find research, to find resources, I sometimes use the ChatGPT. So we want students to use ChatGPT in a correct way. All right. They must do not forget to put the references. They must to compare with the original sources of the information. So sometimes that's why Bapak Fatur Rahman, I just mentioned to you just now in my slide. Sometimes we think that that is a good in terms of the technology, but in terms of the value, I have repeated so many times just now about the value. All right. So the value is maybe not good value when students always use ChatGPT, which is not find a very good a good resources. So we help them how to utilize the ChatGPT in a correct way and also embedded, okay, added with the what we call the rules and the regulation in the library management, okay, how to find a good reference and so forth. All right. So for me, ChatGPT is good if we can manage to make more beneficial to the students. Okay, especially to the researchers, to the lecturer also can utilize, okay, about the ChatGPT.
Okay. Okay. Actually, we
Okay,
have
that's all.
yeah, we have. By the way, thank you very much for your opinion. Okay. We have a questions from Abdullah Rashid.
Hello,
Rashid.
good afternoon, sir.
Yes. Yes.
May I ask about how is big database practice? How is big database practice in Malaysian library so far? I want to know the update or condition now. Thank you
Okay.
for yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Your question is about how you want to know about the a big data. Can you
Yes.
repeat a big data? A big data applications, right?
Yeah. Maybe you can tell about this.
Okay, okay, all right, all right, okay. My answer is based on my perspective and based on my experience. Okay. Basically in Malaysia, um, when we are talking about the libraries, we have so many kinds of library. We have the public libraries. So maybe I just focus on the academic libraries. Yeah. So basically, we are keep talking, we are keep discussing about the big data technology with the emerging technologies towards the big data applications, towards the digital transformations. So nowadays, we are theoretically, okay, theoretically, we are focusing more on the big data environment, big data perspective, but that is just a nature of the big data environment. When come to a technical part, okay, when come to a technical part, base, not say most of the library, maybe half of the academic library in Malaysia has one, what we call is a lacking, or maybe one of the problem in terms of the funding. We have not a sufficient funding. Sometimes the librarian, the heads of librarian want to have a plan, have a good plan. We want to embed this technology. We want to invest with this application. When come to the end, no budget. The budget is not sufficient. So a big data is just a means that's just a theory for the librarians. But when it comes to a technical part, not many environment that can be shared with the people from outside of the Malaysia. All right, but we are keep moving. We are keep moving. But I think there is in the academic library. But when we focus on the a special library, okay, in the special libraries in Malaysia, especially a special library in a big company, Shell, for example, one of the oil and gas company, they have a very good and sophisticated library. Very small, but yet applied with the AR, the augmented reality, with the virtual reality, and has a very sophisticated and updated technology. Because why? Because they have fund, they have money, they have a budget. All right. Since they are a private sector, yes, that is one of the scenario in Malaysia. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Another question, Dr. Asmadi, from Nur Eliska.
Okay.
This is related about the finding, the research finding that you saw at the slide. I'm not quite
Okay. All right.
not quite understand about the percentage in the table. May I know those percentage represents the knowledge needed by libraries, or is the total of knowledge does librarian have?
Okay. All right. Okay, look. Let me share again, Okay, this one. I think that is the thing that no Aliska asking me. Is it correct? Okay. This percentage, okay, for example, Okay, I choose one. A mobile technology. Okay. A mobile technology is one of the applications, all right? Okay. And the percentage is 73.4%. Okay, 73.4%. All right. So this figure, this percentage shows that 73.4% from all the numbers of the academic librarian in Malaysia has a knowledge, okay, knowledgeable, has a knowledge about the mobile technology. All right. Okay, we go to a cloud technology. Okay, just now I mentioned about the cloud technology. Cloud technology, only 44.7, maybe 45%. Only 45%, almost half of the all numbers of academic librarian in Malaysia has a knowledge about the cloud technology. For example, has a knowledge, maybe they know the functions of cloud technology, what kinds of software should be used, what kinds of data tools that can be used, and maybe they have the experience developing a project that involved with a cloud technology. So they has a knowledge on that. Okay, all right. I hope I can. Is it clear? No, Aliska?
Clear, doctor.
All right, okay. Alhamdulillah.
Okay, another question from Nur Afika. Assalamualaikum. I have question, which is what is required skill for librarians in this current era?
Yeah. Okay. Skill. What are the skill? All right. Just now. Sorry. Okay. This one. This one. I only put 3 skill. For example, but basically I want to put many skill. But I think this 3 skill is good enough. Okay, is good enough for the a librarian to require skill. Okay, for example, you can see from the slide. Okay, librarian should have a good knowledge of innovation and creativity. Why I say that? Because when we refer to the emissions of society 5.0 and also the industry 5.0, the terminologies, the term of innovation and the creativity is one of the skills that are very, very needed. Okay, that's why all the participants, for example, in UiTM Kedah, yeah, we have organized so many kinds of innovation, invention, and design competitions. We invite all the students, we invite all the librarians, okay, to use their creativity because we believe that from the creativity, all right, they can impose, they can create, they can impact so many kinds of new technology based on their knowledge. Because why? Because I mentioned to you just now, this one. We want to create a creative society. A librarian, they must to be creativity first. We want to make the user our users creativities, right? But if you are not creative, you are not innovative, how come that you can transform our society, our users to become creativity? That's why towards the society 5.0, I always suggest that a librarians, a student as well, a student in the information management, they must to start to inculcate the creativity, the innovative skill. Okay, with the combination with all the application in the emerging technologies. Number one. Number two, improve the cyberspace environment. Why? All right. This is my perspective. Yeah. Maybe you have your own perspective. Maybe different with me. My perspective, a cyberspace here. How librarian, how they means that how they can create a good ambience, a good environment in the library. Okay, how to make a student, academic, yeah, student in university, how to create, how to influence all the students come to the library. As I mentioned just now, a library is not just the way is a place to find book, to borrow books, to discuss about something, but it must be a certain activities or a certain a program, a session that can create so many kinds of so many people, students come to the library. One of them is create a cyberspace environment. Okay, if they want to play games in the library, all right. For example, I have one of the example in one of the library in Kedah, in a public library Kedah. Yeah, we call it as a digital libraries in one of the place in Malaysia, in Alustar. The name of the place is Alustar. There is one room that people, the users, can play a PS5, a PlayStation 5. That is the way. All right. That is the way how to inculcate, how to make the interest to users come to library. If you can do that, that is a very, very good alternative, very good efforts to make sure people come to your library. Okay? Don't think about how to apply this technology, to put this technology, but people does not come to your library. Make sure they come to the library. Then introduce to them what kinds of application, what kinds of system to them. Okay? And then improve digital literacy abilities. digital literacy is one of the important responsibilities. So nowadays, especially at the Kedah, we are not doing the literacy program in your face to face. Now we have changed to the using a system, using a Zoom, for example, and we have create one virtual reality. Okay, a virtual reality to focus, to discuss, to give the informations pertaining to the literacy to the new student. Okay, the way of literacy should be changed. It's just not only a face-to-face give talk, but we must to change the platform of the literacy disabilities. If they can fulfill these three tasks, then the next step they must come to me. I will give more than that. But please, this is a top three tasks for academic librarian to face the society 5.0. Okay, that's all for me.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, according to our schedule, that would be the last questions, I think.
Okay.
So I would like to remind all the participants to please fill the attendance links for the session 4. Make sure you fill in your name and email address correctly. The attendance link has been shared in the Zoom chat. So, okay, I think that would be the end of the session. I would like to say thank you very much to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Asmadi.
You're welcome.
Thank you for sharing our sharing knowledge with us. And my apologies if there's any mistaken words. And I hope that we can still continue sharing knowledge via these platforms. Okay. And also, I would like to thank you to all the participants who also joined these sessions. Thank you very much, and I will give it back the session to the Master of Ceremony. Thank you very much. Winda, do you have anything you want to say?
Yes, saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Dr. Asmadi sudah berkenan menerima undangan untuk menjadi pembicara di International Circus pada hari ini. Terima kasih, Dr. Asmadi.
Sama-sama, Bu. Semoga our collaboration will last longer. InsyaAllah. Okay. To Bapak Fatur Rahman, terima kasih. Okay, as a moderator, thank you. I'm very honored. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Thank you, Professor Asmadi, for sharing your insightful knowledge by the core session. And thank you for Mr. Fatur Rahman for leading our main agenda this afternoon. Before moving on the next agenda, we must have a photo session first. So for all the audience, please turn your camera on. For the first slide, one, two, three. The second slide. 1, 2, 3. The next slide. 1, 2, 3. The next slide. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Okay, now, once again, we kindly remind you to fill the attendance Google form link that will be sent via Zoom chat. Once again, for all the participants, we kindly remind you to fill the attendance Google form link that will be sent through the Zoom chat. Okay, so now we finally reach the final agenda of today's event. And to close the second day of this short course, let's recite Hamdalah together. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Last but not least, from the deepest of our heart, we kindly apologize if we made some mistakes in presenting this event. Thank you very much for your kind attention and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.